help you?
Just a cup of coffee, please.
Coming right up. Oh, there's no charge.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thanks again.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
Do you have a picture taken with the soldier? Can I take a picture?
Sure.
All right, smile. There you go.
Sir, my son would like to ask you a question.
Are you a hero too? That man said you were.
I just served as best I could.
Can we take a picture?
Sure.
All right, smile big. Easy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
Can I get you a refill?
Somewhere a trumpet sounds in the night. A soldier is standing there. It's calling him out to the stars and the stripes. It's calling him God knows where. He kisses the ones he loves goodbye and leaves in the dead of night. For freedom he'll heed the call, leave all he knows, and for freedom he'll stand and fight. And somewhere a man and wife can believe they're waving their girl goodbye. For gone are the days of pigtails and curls and candlelit lullabies. If they had their way, she'd stay young forever and never be far from home. But freedom has drawn her heart to danger show, and for freedom they'll let her go. And somewhere a thunderous crash in the night, it echoes all through the hills. Though many escape its wrath and its rage, a soldier lies wounded still. Remembering the land he loves, he cries, I love you with all my might. For freedom said I'm her son, whatever comes, and for freedom I'll say goodbye.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome everybody and happy Veterans Day to all the veterans that have served or will be serving now and future and past. Welcome to Go Fast Racing League Lazy Days Grand National Series. We are live here for the Chase race here live at Phoenix. Going to see who makes the Final Four at Homestead. Right now we currently have 6 drivers trying to get in. 2 will be eliminated tonight, and it's gonna be a fun one, and I appreciate that, Gene. That means a lot. Really cool little opening, I thought, too. So we got 6 drivers trying to make it in: Jeff Smith, Brandon Puffenbarger, Lee Granty, Eric Borelli, Dylan Bose, Skylar Allen. I don't know if you guys necessarily are in a must-win, so we're going to try to keep up with this as much as we can throughout the night. We will find out who is in the final here after Phoenix. I do know, I can tell you this, Jeff Smith looks to be locked in no matter what happens. So unless Skylar Allen or Jeff Smith somehow finishes last, then he will not be locked in permanently. So it's going to be interesting. So really none of these guys are currently locked into this race. So qualifying getting started right now, and this is going to be an interesting qualifying. We do got a special preview here at the start of the race. At the moment, Michael Trevarthian, who is out on track and currently is in first right now, as he works through turn 3 and 4. Hot track, going to be slick out. To be honest, this race could resemble the truck race. We could see a lot of cautions because the track is so hot. Michael Trevarthian with a really good lap of 26.957. So in practice, it was interesting. Lando Lacey, I believe, was the fastest at the end. Joe Burchett was right in third, so we'll see how Joe does here on his lap. You can also see some of these guys running special paint schemes tonight. There's Joe running the Swamp Dust Never Forget on that. Plus, he's got the military branches on the roof of his car. So pretty cool for him to do that. So a bunch of other guys running special paint schemes tonight. Skylar Allen's paint I could not see. He's currently third right now, so it kind of sucks. But I couldn't see. I tried to let him know, but I never heard back from him. Joe Burchett jumps up to second with a 27.040. He's going to end his run. Lee Granty, you're coming in here. Been impressive as of late. Currently 10th, though. He's been a little slow here in this practice and so far qualifying. Hopefully he can do a little bit more here on his first lap. Or this may be his second lap, but he is currently 10th right now as he goes through turns 3 and 4. Let's see how he does. I believe this is actually his first lap. So he does okay at 27.652. He's going to need a little bit more than that. Let's hop over. Landon Lacey, who is currently serving in the Air Force, but he is running the U.S. Army paint scheme tonight because he had to find one on Trading Paints. I didn't have time to make him one, so as he works through turn 3 and 4, of course, Eric Minch served as well. He's running in here tonight. Landon Lacey jumps to the top of the board with a 26.916, so a good lap for Landon. Let's see, who else? Carlton Sanders, there's Eric Minch. He is out there. I can't see his paint either. I always have trouble seeing his paint. Of course, Eric Borelli, he's running a cool paint scheme. He's looking to try to make it into the next round here at Phoenix. He's going to have a pretty solid run right at this moment. He's not far off, though. Coming into tonight, he is 14 points behind. I'm sorry, he is right now in the chase. He is 1 point to the good in front of Dylan Bose. So right now, Eric Borelli is locked in to this championship at Homestead. Dylan Bose looking to try to get around him. And we'll see what happens with that. Carlton Sanders out on track in the number 18 car as he works through 3 and 4. Currently 12. Let's see if we can pick up. You can see right there the looseness of the cars, especially in 3 and 4. That's where I heard a lot of people complaining. And we'll continue to watch that tonight. Also got word that we will have 3 drivers with EOLs. Carlton Sanders being one of them. Lee Granty and William Roberts Jr. going to have a EOL as well. There's Brandon Puffenbarger in 13th. He's running a little special paint tonight as well. Looks like everybody just about done. Joe Burchett going back out on track. Probably going out there to get some practice. Kind of weird to see him going back out there. Although we only got like, I don't know, 18 seconds or so left in this session. Or left until the race gets ready to start. So, we are wrapping up qualifying. And it looks like Landon Lacey will get the pole from what I'm seeing. So, we are doing a special parade lap here at the start of this. We'll go through the driver introductions real fast and let everybody see where your favorite driver lines up once they start the grid. Alright, here we go. Landon Lacey, Michael Trevarthian in that 31. Keep your eye on Trevarthian. We know, everybody here knows he's a good. Remember, him and Landon just had a run in a couple weeks ago, so that's going to be an interesting front row. Joe Burchett, Jeff Smith. Jeff having a good run. Currently your points leader. Trying to lock his way into tonight. We'll see if he's able to do that. Right now, he is locked in, but anything's still possible. Skylar Allen Sr. will start in row 3 and 5th. That was a great qualifying run by Skylar. He's found some speed this practice. I noticed it earlier. Jeff Lepker starting in 6th. Austin Marion in the 4. Dylan Vose in that 19 starting alongside him. James Finn, and then Lee Granty. Of course, remember the 29 going to get an EOL. William Roberts, who will also receive an EOL, and Carlton Sanders, who also will receive an EOL. Brandon Puffenbarger and Eric Borelli, and of course Eric Minch. There's your starting grid here tonight. Sorry about that, coughing. So we're getting ready to roll off. We're waiting on everybody to grid. And I believe once we grid, we will start our parade lap. I believe after the pace car drops off, we'll have a couple parade laps that we're going to do. 2 in memory and thinking of veterans, not just necessarily in memory, but so yeah. Okay, so we're not doing a parade lap, so we're going to count this as a parade lap. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll just count this one as it. So why not?
And they know he's in that chair because he took a stand. So I'll stand for the ones who went before us. I'll stand for those who took the fall. I'll stand for the heroes answered the call. For the brave ones who gave it their all. I'll stand for the land of the free and the home of the brave that I give my life to save. I'll stand for the red, white, and blue, for my God, my country, and for you.
Alright, just kind of a little tribute there. Nothing real special that we're trying to do, but it is what it is. Green flag is out. This chase race underway. Landon Lacey will lead them going down into turn 1. Joe Burchett already looking underneath Michael Trevarthian for second place on that low line. And it looks like Joe Burchett going to be able to take it for now using that bottom apron. Trevarthian with a good run through the trial for the backstretch, and he's going to be clear in third. Skylar Allen in that black car. It's black right now because the paint for some reason did not show up on training paint. However, he's going to jump up to 4th place and slide in front of Jeff Schmidt in that red, white, blue number 61. Something a little bit different than we normally see running from Jeff. Most of these guys that you see with black cars also had a red, white, and blue paint scheme. I want to make sure everybody is aware of that. So it's not just that they didn't throw one on. I promise they did. Skylar right now looking really racy, which I'm just going to be honest. That's something we haven't really seen out of Skylar early on in these races. So hopefully he can keep it up, keep that car in the top 5. Remember, he's trying to work his way into the chase. Right now it looks like, I don't know where it would really be. It would be really close, but we'll keep an eye on that here and there every once in a while. Austin Marion in the 65 right now, running in 6th. You also jump back, you can see Lee Grandy right now working on that number 09 of Jeff Wupker. As we hop on board the Sim Racing SC Chevrolet. Back here, Eric Minch was racing the 88 Brandon Puffenbarger, and looks like that's worked its way out. But up front, we got a battle for 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place involved in as well. Looks like Jeff Smith was able to get back around Skylar Allen for now in 4th place. So Jeff moves up to 4th. Skylar falls back to 5th. What's going to be interesting is this race is very... I'm surprised we haven't seen a ton of... not a ton. Surprised we haven't seen a caution. We know the truck race here, not the way it wanted to go. Last night's race, from what I heard, was a really not a bad one. We didn't have a ton of cars show up, but it wasn't bad. So right now in practice we see quite a few cautions or wrecks, and now we get a caution as the 29 goes around, and that is Lee Granty, and that is not good. And let's check the replay one more time. And you can see what everybody was fighting. That's exactly what everybody's been fighting tonight. And Lee does get the wall. It don't do no damage. It looks like he's going to be okay. It does a little bit to the right front, but pretty big chase implications, I guess we could say, to him already, because he comes in here sitting in 3rd place in points. He was 3 points to the good of Eric Borelli. and right behind him, Dylan Vose. So right now, we'll see how it shakes up. So, of course, Lee Grandy going to get a EOL for causing a wreck, which I think he was pretty much back there anyway. So, pit lane's going to be open, and everybody coming down besides Jeff Schmidt and Dylan Vose. See, I think you got a pit, man. Like, I understand we went 8, and I understand Jeff may want to lead a lap, which, honestly, with him leading the lap, I think he's good. I think he's automatically locked in from that lap led to a Homestead. So, Jeff Smith may be the only one currently locked in with that lap led because that's a bonus point. But I think everybody else, I don't like the idea of Dylan Vose staying out, especially being you're not really the fastest. Maybe he stayed out and thought Jeff was coming in. I don't really know. But the 31's down the way. He took 2 tires. Skylar Allen takes 2 tires. Joe Burchett going to win the race in front of Landon Lacey. Yes, Joe Burchett beats Landon out. Then we got Austin Marion in the 65. William Roberts, Jeff Walker, Brandon Puffenberger, your top 10. James Finn comes out in 11th. Eric Minch comes out in 12th. And Borelli 13th. So, I don't know. I kind of... 2 tires I don't think is necessarily a bad idea, and I think Dylan Vose is coming up pit road, and I think that was some miscommunication. I think he stayed out to try to lead a lap, so I don't like the idea of staying out, but I understand why Jeff Schmidt stayed out, because with that lap lead, he will solidify his chance into going to Homestead with 1 lap lead. That will solidify him. The 2 tires are going to be interesting. I don't know if the guys will practice it or not. So, I kind of don't mind the call right now, being it's this early in the race. I don't know if we'll see that later on in the race. And not only that, we only went, 7 laps or so. So, we didn't go a ton of laps. So, we'll see how that plays out for them too, with Trevarthian and Skylar Allen. It's going to be interesting. Joe Burchett in 4th place, the first one on fresh tires. And then from there on back, everybody else on 4 fresh tires as well. You can also see the marbles working up off the track as well. With some of these cars. So we're waiting on the pace car to drop in. Once again, there it goes, and we are going to go green flag here again at Phoenix International Raceway. And already it looks like the 61 got a little bit of wheel spin on that restart. He did power back really good on the inside. Right now, Skylar Allen dropping to the apron. And Jeff Smith may have got a little bit loose. Here comes the 94. He also blinked just a little bit. And it looks like Trevarthian is going to take the lead on the high side. Them 2 fresh tires paying off. Ooh, Skylar Allen cutting it close with the 61 and 94, but does a good job on getting a run on the outside of Jeff. I think the no tire stop definitely didn't work. So I think, personally, I know Michael Trevarthian is leading the race. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's going to be able to keep it for long. I think you're going to have to get 4 tires. We can already kind of see that right there. Trevarthian slides way up in turn 3. That's going to give the 94 a run and should be able to take it. Now, we do got a car smoking on the front stretch. And I will let you know that it's Eric Minch on the front stretch that has blown up and is in pit road. And Eric Minch comes in here, not in the chase. He got eliminated earlier, the last round. So unfortunately for Eric Minch, by the way, Minch, if you're watching, thank you for your service. I know you served as well. So, and Eric Spencer, if you're watching, thank you as well. So we're seeing right now, the 2 tires not really paying off. Skylar Allen already dropped back to 8th place and continuing to drop back as he now getting passed by Jeff Wupker. Skylar also with a little bit of damage. Yeah, the 2 tire stop's not going to work at all. So we'll be watching that. And honestly, Jeff Smith dropped back quite a bit too. He started with no tires. But with the loose race car already, I don't I kind of understand why you would take 2. But if the car's already loose, you take 2 tires, it might not go good. And the 61 is going to go for a ride. What a save by this Jeff Smith. Oh, he may go around after all. And caution. Caution will come out. Everybody does a good job on avoiding him. And Jeff Smith, he about saved that car. That was pretty good. Watch this. Watch his hands inside the car trying to work the wheel. He had it. He just went around. And luckily he didn't hit nothing, or nobody hit him, or nobody hit anything else. So caution comes back out here once again. So we'll step aside, get a break in. Be right back right after this. That was your race off pit road. Joe Burchett wins the race off pit road. Eric Borelli did stay out, and I believe he will come down pit road this time for fresh tires. So that gives him an extra bonus point as well. So Joe Burchett, William Roberts. Really? Wait, what? I think William Roberts is actually, yeah, he is actually a lap car, maybe? Yes, he should be a lap car. And we'll get a wave around, or have to drop back, I believe, because I don't think he stayed out. There's no way he jumped up that many spots, I don't think. We'll see, though. So once the pace lights go off, I believe he'll have to drop back to the back of the field. So it should go Joe Burchett, Landon Lacey, Michael Trevarthian, Austin Marion, and James Finn, your top 5. And we will see it right here. We should be getting ready to go green next time by. I believe the pace lights are about to go off. By the way, the EOL does go to the 61 of Jeff Smith, 4 calls to the wreck. So he'll drop back to the back. And I think he's okay with that, honestly. Brenda Puffenberger coming down pit road. And yeah, the 26 is up there. And I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how he was able to get up there. I didn't think he was actually that fast, but good on him. Can't complain about that by any means. So the pace car will drop back down pit road. Here, at the moment, we got 14 cars on the lead lap. So, like I said, automatically now Jeff Smith locked into Homestead no matter if he wrecks out or not now. With the lap lead. I think all the guys would have to lead a lap no matter what happens. Pace car drops in. And the green flag is out. We're back to racing. And up front, it is going to be a battle between the 2 teammates and the 26 as well. Wow, William Roberts got a good run off turn 2. We'll see if he's able to use that momentum to get around the 94 using a high line. And who is that? Oh, Trevarthian. Good Lord, he shot out like a cannon off that turn. And everybody's clean the first lap here under green. Oh no, we got a wreck. Big one. 31 Trevarthian around. And unfortunately for him, there's somebody else in it. Eric Borelli. The 18 was in it as well. Wow. This was a good one. The 65. Oh, the 29 was in it. Now, the 78 didn't get damaged, but this man did, and that's not what he wanted. And his hood is, oh, man. I'm going to be honest. That literally could knock him out of this chase. He comes in here. Lee Grandy comes in here in third place in points. 3 points ahead of Eric Borelli. And I'm going to be honest, he's going to have some damage repaired. And right at this very moment, if the race was to end, he would still be making it. The EOL does go to the 31 of Michael Trevarthian, by the way. Oh, that's a tough break. That's seriously tough for Lee, man. Like I said, one of my favorite guys in this league. And you got to feel for him. As most of these guys coming up pit road, there was a lot of people that got damage on that. I believe even James Finn was involved. Yeah, he's got quite a bit of damage. The 65, you can see if Austin Marion got damage. I mean, a lot of people. Skylar Allen coming back down pit road. I don't think Skylar actually got much damage. I think a lot of that damage was from earlier. Yeah, you can see that. So he'll probably take some repairs. Should be okay. No, he's actually going to go ahead and go. And he takes 2 tires. See, I don't like the idea of taking 2 tires. I mean, we're still over 100 laps to go. I just don't understand the point of taking 2 tires. Skylar, I know you can hear me, but I don't quite understand it. You know, and maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's going to be a question we're going to have to ask him, though. If it works out, then awesome. You know, maybe he thinks that he can get around, you know, Jeff and Dylan because they actually stayed out, and with 2 tires it may work out for him. I don't know, but we seen what happened with Trevarthian stayed out when he pushed up quite a bit, and I was just thinking Skylar, that may happen to him as well. So Dylan Bowe stays out and leads the lap, and that is an extra point for him, which at this very moment, Eric Borelli is eliminated from the chase. Dylan Bowes is in at this very moment because of where they run on track. Yeah, Eric's in 8th. Bowes is in 1st right now. He did get the bonus point for leading the lap. We'll see if Dylan actually comes in or not. So I like to call for him to go ahead and stay out. Like I said, Jeff Smith, nothing to lose with him. He's already locked into the championship race no matter what happens, since he did stay out a few laps ago and lead a lap, or a couple laps. So he's good to go. Everybody else, not quite sure about everybody yet. But we can tell you right now that Jeff Smith is locked into Homestead. And everybody else still kind of out there floating around, I guess would be the word to use. So we'll see. The first one with fresh tires here, back and forth, starting alongside the first one with 2 fresh tires. Skylar Allen in 3rd. And then everybody behind that. Jeff Flupker, who is 5th, also took 2 tires. Everybody else took 4. So we'll see how all this works out for some of these guys. Up front, the 26, did he take 2? He did take 4. So pace car about to drop in. We're about to go back green flag racing here once again at Phoenix International Speedway. Pace car is in. The green flag is out. And the 61 may have got wheel spin. Yeah, it looks like Jeff Smith got wheel spin on that restart and backed up the outside line. We'll see what happens here as they exit turn 2. Skylar Allen going to take over 2nd place with the 2 fresh tires. Joe Burchett looking to go 3 wide in the middle. This could go bad or good. And also that 09, Jeff Walker working his way up with 2 fresh tires. As there could have been some contact between them 2. Looks like they're okay though. Skylar now trying to run down Dylan Bowes. That could be a big spot if Skylar could get up there and take this lead away and lead a lap. It could be huge for him as he's trying to get into the next run. He gets loose on the apron And we're 3 wide, and the 26 backs out that. That could have been bad very quick. Did you guys happen to see the truck race last night when they went 6 wide? Whew. Jumper Chat underneath Skylar Allen for second place. We'll see. The 61 also. There goes Skylar Allen right into the 26. And green flag stays out. And actually not much damage on either one of them cars. Skylar with a little bit. But everybody else, did the 26 get damaged from that at all? I know he lost a lot of spots, but he got a little bit. But I'm going to be honest, that was a way worse hit than from what it looked. Not as bad as what I honestly thought on either one of them cars. Huh. Back towards the back, or middle of the field. I'm going to say back towards the back. Jeff Wupker. By the way, that was Skylar Allen that got loose. That's what made me question the 2-tire stop. We've seen it. It's just going to keep loosening you up. I mean, we've seen the 31 at Trevarthen chase his car up the hill earlier when he took 2. I don't think you can do that personally here. You can look right here at the weather on the screen. It's the air temp's not bad. It's the track temp that's a little warm at 96 degrees. And this track's already tough in the afternoon as it is, so I don't want to say that took Skylar out of the race, but he's definitely going to have to get that damage fixed and take 4 fresh tires. This right here is for 6th place, yes. Like that, I kind of lead Grandy out, and he's worked his way back up into this mix, and he's now 8th, even with that much damage. He actually took a very hard hit. I thought he was done. And did Eric really just disconnect? I think the 78 may have just lagged out, guys, and if so, that is a heartbreaker for him. Oh, no 9 in the wall. Got loose going in. And once again, that's another 2-tire car that took 2 tires. So we're seeing the 2 tires not playing off at all for any of these guys. As the caution does come back out once again, it looks like the 26 may have had some kind of problem. Actually, I don't know if it was him or not. It may have happened up in front of him. I don't see nobody wrecked. Maybe Carlton Sanders? No. Yep, the 18 went around. Right in front of Skylar Allen and a 65. And everybody else does a good job of avoiding him. So he just went in a complete circle. That's kind of a break for Eric Burley into 78, but he's going to be a couple laps down, at least 2 laps down. If he's got to get back in here. I'm going to be honest, if he don't get back in here, he's in trouble. I mean, that's bad. Be locked, well, not locked in, but a chance of going to Homestead for the championship, and you disconnect. So I don't know what happened to him. I hope he didn't get his incident limit. So the pit road's going to be open. Joe Burchett going to bring them down with Lando Lacey, Dylan Vose, Jeff Smith, James Finn, Michael Trevarthen, Lee Grady, Skylar Allen, and Austin Mary, Jeff Wupker. Your top 10 coming down pit lane. Let's watch Joe pull into his pit here. Here he comes. Everybody coming down pit road this time. I don't expect we'll see many 2-tire stops either. Done in the way. Joe Burchett, Lando Lacey, 1-2 off pit road. Dylan Bose comes in 3rd. Jeff Smith comes out 4th. As you look at your pit stops, there's your fastest pit stop of that stop so far. Some guys still in pit road, such as Austin Marion, Jeff Wupker, I believe Skylar Allen. Not on pit road. No, he is not. I thought he was. Fastest pit stop actually went to Skylar with a 13.25. Is that correct? That's a good stop. So yeah, Skylar Allen. So looks like he may have picked up a spot as well. Well, I think we talked to Jeff Schmidt. What do you think? Hey, Jeff, you got me?
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Well, I got good news for you. It looks like you're going to be locked in a homestead since you stayed out and led one lap.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
I didn't know that point would be that important.
Yeah, since we had 16 drivers, you was 15 points ahead of it looks like the cut line. So it looks like you're good to go, man. I mean, you still need to stay out there and finish, I believe, in the top 10, and it looks like you're definitely good to go for the most part, though, man. So that's pretty big for you. But yeah, good job on that. How's the car handled?
Oh, it feels great. I'm really actually taking it easy with it. We got a lot more speed than what we're showing here. So if we're there at the end, we might have something for these guys.
Okay, so I may have over exaggerated just a little bit. Right now, you're 10 points ahead of the cutoff line, which maybe actually a little bit more, 11 points ahead of the cutoff line. So basically, all you got to do is finish 12th and above, which the way your car is handled looks pretty good. What's been the biggest issue so far in these cars?
Traffic. Yep. Yeah, the car, it's a little loose, but it's drivable. I mean, I actually love it. I love this car and this track and the heat. This is fun, but the traffic and being around all these other guys, and that's definitely the hardest part.
All right, man. Go out there and see what you can do. I'll be up here watching. Good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, bud. So I did make a small mistake on I said that. I thought he was currently locked in. He is not currently locked in yet. It looks like he may be locked in because he's, as long as he finishes on the lead lap, I think he's good for the most part. He may fall back, but we'll see. Green flag back out. Joe Burchett, Landon Lacey, front row. Dylan Bowes back in third, and Jeff up in fourth. And Jeff going to slide up just a little bit there as the 19 does clear him. Meanwhile, up front, two teammates racing. And Landon Lacey going to take the point. Behind these guys, Skylar Allen going to go wide, get outside the slick stuff in the marbles. And what a save by that 96, man. Wow. You want to see a save, let's right on board with Skylar Allen. He should have went around, just being honest. That was a great save by the 96. Way to keep the car underneath you. By the way, Eric Borelli is back in here 4 laps down, however, so he's going to need some cautions now, and that's not what he wanted coming in. And Lee Grandy may have almost went around as well. Something happened to the 29. And another good save for the 29, or for another car. Wow, these guys are really on it, saving it tonight. Meanwhile, Dylan Bowes has ran down Joe Burchett. And that is for second place. Who else was that? Somebody just got into the wall. Austin Marion, I believe, may have gotten into the wall as Michael Trevarthian goes around him. Jeff Welker gives way for 10th place. Brandon Puffenbarger, who also, by the way, at the moment, we'll have to wait and see. He is second in points coming into tonight. Michael Trevarthian working on James Finn. Remember, we just seen Michael getting bought in a wreck a few moments ago. Doing a good job on being able to get that car back up there running, and actually running pretty solid lap times as he's looking underneath the 60. No, that gets cut off fairly quick. James Finn trying to defend that position. Doing a good job at the moment. And for anybody that might be new to racing or have heard about this rule, usually the yellow line means you cannot pass. However, here at Phoenix, there is no out of bounds line. You could drop as far as you want on the apron, And I'm gonna be honest, we may wind up seeing some guys that Shavarkian looks underneath Finn, and we'll take that spot. But we may see some guys use the apron even at 3 and 4. I would not be surprised. We've seen it in practice. But right here in this little turn, I call it a turn, even though it's not considered a turn. You're going to see guys continue to drop down there all day and continue to try to make up ground. Lee Grandy is working on Austin Marion as they're side by side going into turn 1. And Lee Grandy takes another spot, moves that 29 up to 7th. And he's got a ton of damage on his car. I don't know how he's even able to keep going. You can see it right there. There's a ton of damage from where he got wrecked or involved in a wreck earlier. Right up front, though, Landon Lacey slowly starting to drive away from his field. Doing a good job right now, out by almost 1 second over Joe Burchett. Dylan Bowe still running down Joe. They're about even on times. That time by, however, Joe Burchett fastest on. Actually, Joe Burchett and Dylan Bowe. Dylan Bowe's being the fastest that time by. Let's hop on board and listen to Landon work the throttle. This is a really throttle sensitive place. Here it comes out of turn 4. So we'll get a lap around here. Let's listen in. Really here in turn 1 and 2. Let it roll in 3. And for people that don't know about iRacing, this is not like a console game. In console, you can pretty much run wide open. You don't have brake assist or none of that stuff. Everything is like realistic. It's not your normal console type game. It's not like you can run at full throttle. You don't have stable or stability assist in iRacing. I mean, these cars they handle supposedly. I mean, I've never drove one in real life, but they handle supposedly like the ones in real life. And of course, you don't have the feel of the car on you. But yeah, so these guys right now doing a really good job. I mean, you could kind of just think about it. It's not easy by any means on what they're doing in these cars. And next year it gets even harder when these guys do the Cup Series. I mean, the Cups cars are way different. They handle completely different than the trucks, than the K&N, than these cars. Some people now are saying, though, that the Xfinity car is a little bit harder to drive. These cars that we're driving now. Take that however you want. I don't necessarily know. Of course, the Cup car has more horsepower, but with the lower downforce on these cars, it does make them tough to drive, that's for sure. And a lot of the times we're seeing right here as we watch Brendan Puffenberger go underneath Austin Marion. In practice, it was really bad in certain situations. Like if you took the air off of the spoiler of another car that was in front of you side by side, especially in 3 and 4, it usually didn't work. We're watching Skylar Allen, and what I mean by that, if Skylar was to actually go up a little bit on that 65 and take some air off the spoiler where there is no downforce hardly anyway, because of the low spoiler, it basically takes everything off. It gets the back end completely light, and it will just whip the car completely around. And we've seen that numerous times in practice. We've seen it a lot this year, especially with the Xfinity car. And these guys have been through a lot of changes this year. When we first started the season for these guys, there was actually not the lower downforce on these cars. We had the older package. Then the newer package came out in the middle of the season, and you can see, if I can actually zoom in and show you. Let's use this camera instead. You can see right here on Skylar Allen's car how much smaller that spoiler really is. It might be a little hard to see from map view, but you can kind of see right there's your good shot. That is not very high at all. And like I said, that's just lower downforce, and it does affect the way the car handles, especially on certain tracks. And this is one of them tracks. And to even show you more about this, if I can actually do it. We're going to try to do this in car. Let's do this camera. So let's hop up to Joe Burchett. We're right on board with him. Let's go underneath the car. This is kind of weird, but I know. Trust me, I'm aware. So we cannot see it from there. It's hard to see it from out. So we'll have to go back inside the car with him. We'll use a different camera. Let's see which one it was. I think it might have been this one. Here we go. We can use this one. So we're zooming in, and you can see the spring right here in Joe Burchett's car. This is on the left front or left rear tire, and you can watch that spring compress just like a real NASCAR or a real car. You can see it right there, really going in and out. Now on this track, it's not as bad because this track's a little bit more flat. You're probably putting a little bit more load on the right front than you are the left. So if we was to go over to his other side of the car, which would be the right rear, you can see it bouncing just a little bit more than what the other side is. And that should tell you how realistic this sim actually is for anybody that's interested in iRacing. You ain't going to be able to get this kind of stuff on a console game or a console watching other stuff. That's just amazing to me. I find that really amazing. And even sometimes when he goes down into a turn, as you can see, he's starting to run Landon Lacey, but sometimes you can see even the brake rotor's glowing. We're not going to probably be able to see it from here, but you can see right there, you got your brakes. You can see it pretty good. The rotor and everything is in there, so really cool. Even got the belts and everything, so really cool stuff from iRacing of what they've actually made this thing become. Like I said, it's done an amazing job. And I'm going to be honest, Landon Lacey, Joe Burchett's gone. These two are dominating right now. 4 seconds out in front of Dylan Vose. So yeah, really good job right now. What do y'all think of them camera views that I'm using though? Do you like the idea of sometimes looking at the springs? I love it. I think it gives you guys a different perspective of what these guys are facing on different tracks. We'll see it more as the 29 is going to go around. He's trying to save it. He does save it. He almost got into the back of the 61 of Jeff Smith. That was for 6th. I want to mention one more thing. We're going to see green flag pit stops here probably within 5 laps. And honestly, it's not for tire or fuel. It's probably for tires. Place not easy on tires. And Eric Borelli's just sitting back there just hoping. But I'm going to be honest. The way these guys are racing right now, I don't want to jinx it. Let's not jinx it. Let's hop on board Skylar Allen's car. And we'll actually show you a different view from his car. We'll hop on the roll bar cage and once again. You can see him. So this is on board with Skylar. And watch his hands going into some of these turns. Right there you go. You can see how much he works the wheel. That is just to help the car rotate. He's actually getting a little bit on the apron in 3 and 4, which is kind of what we expected through some of these guys. But if we was to hop over to the other camera and actually go over to his helmet cam, you can see just a little bit more from his perspective of where he's racing. I mean, look at him work the wheel. And here he goes. He's going to go around. And caution flag comes out. And that was on board with Skylar. That was interesting. And the only thing that happened there, bottomed out. Going into the middle turn. And you even heard it. It just bottomed out and he went around. Nothing you can really do about that. So caution flag comes out. That was a 28 lap run. That was a good run for these guys, honestly. So we're going to go back down pit road here again. As Carl Sanders, lucky he didn't get lapped, but Eric Borelli will get the lucky dog, so he'll be 3 laps down now. Going to need a little bit more help, unfortunately, for him. So pit road's going to be open. As we go try to track these guys down with our flying camera. Here they go. Following these guys down pit road. Let's watch Jeff Smith come into his box here. There comes Joe Burchett. Lana Lacey. Here comes Jeff Smith. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 31. Here comes Jeff Smith. He pulls into his box. Tires going off. Hopefully here in a couple weeks, guys, we'll have an animated pit crews. That'll be fun. Tires up. Tires down. And down he goes. And race off. As Joe Burchett on pit road still. Extra long time for Joe on pit road. He may have had damage. That's a weird one. Yeah, what happened to him? Huh. Alright, well, anyway. Lana Lacey wins the race off pit road. Dylan Bose, Al second. 96 gets the EOL. We'll take a break and be right back. And I was sitting here talking to myself, guys. Sorry about that. I thought I unmuted everything when I came back. I want to mention that that caution looks to be like Michael Trevarthian will have a penalty. From what I'm thinking, 2 laps, I believe, down, 3 laps down, because that is his second caution caused. I don't want to quote myself on that, but I believe after the truck race the other night, they stiffened the penalties quite a bit in here. So we'll have to wait and see if that's the case. But that could be big for Trevarthian. Yes, 3 laps down. So, pit road's going to be open. I apologize for my mic being muted. So we'll watch the pit road. I do want to take a break because I got to go grab a drink, but we're going to watch the pit stops real fast. And it looks like Brandon Puffenberger stayed out, which I believe will give him a lap lead. Yes, that's exactly why he stayed out. So there comes the rest of the guys. Now we'll get our break in here in just a second. I really got to go get something to drink. So, big news for the 31. He will be held 3 laps, and unfortunately for him, that's not what he wanted tonight. Race off pit road. Lana Lacey, Dylan Bowes, James Finn, Joe Burchett. Be right back right after this. Back here again, guys, and looking at some of these cautions that we had, just want to mention that if the 29 to 61 does break again, they will go 3 laps down. So, just want to mention that, and the 96. So, green flag's coming back out. It's something to think of. So, Eric Borelli definitely not out of this thing right now, as we watched Landon jump out to a really good start, and he got loose, and he's going to give up a lot of time. Landon Lacey falling back. And I'm not sure why. Something happened to the 35 car. Let's see what happened to him. No idea. I will find out, though, and let you guys know. On what happened to the 35. So Dylan Bowes takes the lead. James Finn, Joe Burchett working on him. Lee Grandy's starting to work his way up as well. Here comes Jeff Smith underneath the 29. And I got word. I don't know why, though. Why? So, Landon dropped back on purpose. I don't like the call by that. I don't know. So he thought something was going to happen, but you had to lead. It's going to happen behind you. That's a strange one. Either way, update on Skylar Allen, who I mentioned about the points, going to have a good run. And coming into tonight, he was exactly, what was it, 14 points out of the top spot, out of the lead, which was only 7 points out of 4th. I'm going to be honest, at the moment, Dylan Bose is the one that may get in. It could also, depending on what happens to Lee Grandy, Skylar's still got a chance because he's running pretty good. So really we need to see what happens with the 29, the 96, and the 19. I don't know if the 19 is the fastest by any means. I feel like he's the fastest car on the short runs, which is what we're really seeing a lot of, which is probably a good thing. I feel like on the long run he struggles though, and you start to see it, I don't want to say now, right there you can see it. He's using the apron to already help him turn. To me, that's a guy that's struggling to rotate, and the car's tightening up on him where he don't like it. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he's the fastest by any means. But if we keep having these cautions, it's going to work out for the 19 because of the short run speed he does have. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. That's going to be interesting. See, here's what I didn't like with Landon dropping back. He drops back to 8th place because he thought something was going to happen behind him. But now he's caught in the middle of this. And if it wrecks, it's happening in front. What if a car wrecks in front of him and he has nowhere to go? You just threw your whole race out the window. And for no reason. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying I hope it don't happen by any means. But I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of what he did by dropping back. Skylar Allen's going to go high, and that's the last thing. He don't need another caution with him. If he gets one more caution, remember, 3 laps penalty, and that's what happened to the 31. And here comes the 35 now looking underneath Skylar, and Landon takes that away. And the 35 again, slow. I don't understand that. Anyway, race up for the front, for the lead. Dylan Bose trying to hold off Joe Burchett. James Finn's slowly starting to track these guys down as well as they battle on. That's just helping the 60 car. Your top 5 right now, Dylan Bose, Joe Burchett, James Finn, Lee Grandy, and Jeff Smith. Joe gets a really good run right there in 3 and 4. And I feel like that's where he's faster than Bose at, but I feel like Bose gets a really good exit off the backstretch, and I feel like it really does help him quite a bit. Oh, the 19 goes a little wide this time. And that did allow the 94 to close in. Around the outside, Joe Burchett trying to get a run. And Dylan Bose, woof, that was close. And Jeff Smith looking to go 3 wide, and he thinks better of it. As Joe Burchett takes the lead, we'll jump back to this one. It's the 29, the 60, the 61, and the 88 of Brandon Puffenberger. I don't know if we need to cut out Brandon as well in that 88 to possibly go on next week and have a chance at winning the championship. He's very talented, and next week I feel like fits into his play style. As the 60 of James Finn going to go around as the caution flag flies, and Landon Lacey may have just died. And as I said before, why would you drop back? And that's why. He shouldn't have dropped back from the beginning. He didn't get it, but that could have been bad. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the 65 was in this as well. Oh, yeah. Him and the 09 got together good. So, if I'm not mistaken, that is another caution on the 60. Let me make sure. Okay, that's the first caution on the 60. So, that he's going to get an EOL. But, man. Some bad stuff happening tonight, though. For a lot of these guys. Austin Marion, one of them guys. And Austin's not had the greatest couple weeks. As of lately, anyway. Gets eliminated from the chase, and then this. So we will wait and see the race off pit road as Brendan Puffenberger and Austin Marion. See, I don't like staying out. That's weird. You got 16 laps on your tires. That's not going to work. I understand why Brandon stayed out. He don't have a lap led yet. Now he does. So he'll come in. But Austin Marion is just involved in a wreck. Maybe he was so far behind that he wants to come down now and get the damage fixed. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Race off pit road is going to go to Joe Burchett. Lee Grandy comes out in third. And you know what? I think I just seen Dylan Vose count a car. Let's watch this replay. Did he stop? Yeah, he was counting cars. Good idea, though. Trying to get in third place. Or fifth place, but either way. See, Austin's staying out. You just got involved in a big wreck, man. Like, I mean, your car, I'm sorry. Your car's done. Like, you should have brought that in and fixed it. And, I mean, you can see, guys, y'all can be the... I think it's just too much damage for you to do anything. Unless he brings in, maybe he wanted a lap lead, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to lead this lap. Maybe he'll bring it in this time. But I do want to mention that Eric Borelli gets the lucky dog and the wave around, and he is only one lap down. So, really, that's not what Skylar Allen wants. He don't want Eric to get back on the lead lap. Because, honestly, he's fast. And he's got a solid top, probably 5 car. And I don't think some of these guys want that. So, they need to tighten it up a little bit and try to keep that 78 behind them. And the 65 is going to bring it down pit road. So he did stay out to lead a lap. So, yeah. So we're doubling them up again. And the 94, the 29, Lee's done a good job on battling back up through there with that damage. I still think my most improved driver of the night so far is Skylar Allen in the 96. Alright, pace car is going to drop in. The 29 laying back just a little bit. That's a little weird. I don't know if I lay that far back. Green flag is out, though. I think he was watching the 94 to make sure he was going. And Joe Burchett will spin. We're 3 wide going into turn 1. That got sorted out really fast. And the 96 makes contact with Jeff Smith. And Jeff goes around. No damage. You know what? This may have been net code. Oh, 96 got loose. And unfortunately for Skylar Allen, he's going to have to do what Michael Trevarthian's got to do now. That was actually net code. But then he got into him really good. So your lucky dog is going to be, and I think Skylar Allen may be out on X Limit, which was not good, which would put an end to his championship hopes. He had a really good card in that too, unfortunately. That's what it's looking like. Alright guys, we're going to step away. I'll be right back right after this. At Phoenix International Speedway, this is the Veterans Day 150. Back here for the Veterans Day 150 for the Go Fast Racing League Lazy Days Grand National Series. We knew it would be a crazy race, and somehow Eric Borelli is back in this thing, now sitting in 8th place. But however, he's still not in the championship, as Dylan Vose right now is up in 3rd, so he needs to get in front of Vose. As the pace car drops down pit road, the green flag comes out. We're back to racing here, and watch here in turn 1. As Joe Check got a good restart that time. And it looks like Vose coming for 2nd. On Lee Grant. Oh, Vose gets loose. He's going to slide up the racetrack. That's going to open the door for Landon Lacey. Here comes the 35. And I think it's Jeff Wupker going to the pit road. And Vose puts a block on the 35. Just saying, off the top of my head, as Landon's going to go around the outside. Don't know if I would do that too much, being there's a chance you can still make the chase, and you've got to still make friends, because remember, you've got to race these guys possibly next week for the championship. Here comes Jeff Smith now, looking to take over 4th place. I'm sorry, yeah, 4th place. And he's not going to do it, but Landon Lacey's going to move into 2nd underneath Lee Grandy, as Lee puts up a crossover on the 35. Oh, that was almost bad. Meanwhile, Dylan slowly starting to fall back as we see Eric Borelli starting to work his way forward. Now up to 6th. 2 spots is all he needs. And if all is right, if he does pass Dylan Vose, it would still go to Dylan. And there went somebody flying through the infield. I think it was Lee Grandy. That ain't what he needed. And caution flag comes out, and that is not what he needed. Because you know what? That is the second caution the 29 has caused, I do believe. And that means 3-lap penalty for Lee Grandy. So he's going to fall back to at least 10th place. Now, the thing is, it's going to move him back to 11th. And I'm looking, he is 6 points behind the lead. He was 3 points in front of Eric Borelli at the time. 4 points in front of Dylan Vose. So yeah, at the moment, Lee Grandy may be on the outs with Eric Borelli being in and Dylan Vose being in. Man. And Lee's been dominant pretty much. I don't want to say dominant, but he's been the dominant chase driver all chase long. He's been week in and week out finishing top 3. As pit road's going to be open, Joe Burchett comes in. Eric Borelli stays out and will lead a lap. That is huge for that number 78 car. Carlton Sanders also staying out. These other guys that is out right now behind them is going to get the wave around with them. So Eric Borelli going to stay out and lead this lap, and he did lead it. And it looks like Landon Lacey may have got caught speeding on pit road. No. Did he win the race on pit road, or did Joe Burchett and Dylan Vose get caught speeding on pit road? Okay, so Landon Lacey wins the race off pit road. And at the moment, starting 3rd, and he's going to be starting 2nd now. So Carlton Sanders, who we don't know a ton about, will be starting up in front. Looks like we're about to double them up here. Once again, guys, thanks to all the veterans that have served or are currently serving. Also, the ones that have lost their life. You're still a veteran. So, thank you all and your families for the sacrifice that you all had to make or have to make. And, yeah, just want to make sure I point that out. You know what? Jeff Smith's doing a good job. Just sitting here looking. He's been in the top 5 all day. And, you know, out of most of our top 5, he's got one of the lowest I ratings out of all of our top 5. I just find that impressive. So good for him. Here we go. I hope the 18 cleaned up his tires because this could stack up the field really bad on that inside. As a Ford Mustang pace car. Pulls off. And the green flag is, we're out. We're off the racing once again. And no wheel spin for the 18. However, that 35 got a heck of a restart on that 18. And it looks like Landon Lacey going to clear the 18. And that's what happens when you got old tires. Here's a big battle for third. Oh, the 19 may be caught behind a slower car. The 94 is going to go around. Caution does not come out, so we stay green. Joe Burchett went around using the apron. And that is a big, possibly chase thing for some of these guys. That helps Eric Borelli even more. Here comes the 19 underneath the 18. Here comes the 78 underneath the 18. The 18 dropping back. Carlton Sanders not where he wants to be as he continues to fall back. Ooh, the 18 is going to go wide. He's up in the loose marbles. This could be bad. Got to really be careful getting up there. That's where you got to pedal it and almost go around. Comes the 88, looking underneath the 18 now. As the 18 once again goes to that high line. Got to be careful going up there. One of the biggest battles starting to take place as Eric Borelli is slowly trying to run down Dylan Bose. This is huge for the points implications. We'll see if he's able to do it. Remember, we talked about Bose earlier. We don't think Bose is as great on the longer runs as some of these other guys. So if we have a long run, it sets in here and runs over 20 laps. As Bose goes around, caution comes out. And that is even more big. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. That is his first one. So he will get an EOL on the 19. Whew, man. Guys, after tonight, do not broadcast tomorrow. Do not broadcast Monday. Do not broadcast Wednesday or Tuesday. We do have one on Wednesday. And then we're back here on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the final race of the season for these guys. I'm going to be honest, my broadcast list is really about to shrink quite a bit. There's going to be 1 week where I don't think I have only one broadcast that entire week. Which I'm not going to lie. I'm going to enjoy it because after about 34 weeks of straight broadcasting every week, it's tiring. So, yeah. So, I'm kind of glad the season's coming to an end. It's been a fun one so far for these guys. Not over yet, but we'll be back for the Winter Series. I do believe. So, still working out everything with that, but that'll be on Friday and Sundays. Whew. So, Letta Lacey on pit road. Brandon Puffenberger staying out. And once again, I believe that is for points implications for him, which is why he's staying out. And a race off pit road, Eric Borelli. Did he win? No, but he did take over second off pit road. So a good stop for that 78 car. What a stop. I do. I'm not going to lie. It's been a long season. Hello, Justin. When was the last time we raced Phoenix? It's been back March 18th was the last time we raced Phoenix. And let me actually get the race results for that race. That's when Jeff Wupker was the points leader. Who was? Todd Cray was the winner. Anthony Burrows was second. Christopher Fowler. I'm trying to see our new. Austin Marion finished fourth. Nate Anderson. Where did Eric Borelli finish? Eric Borelli finished, looked like eighth. No, I'm sorry, 10th. Eric Borelli finished 10th. So, not the greatest, but not bad. It all comes down to this race, and then next week on Homestead. as it looks like Landon Lacey will take over the lead. Brandon Puffenberger did go down pit road. So your top 5, Landon Lacey, Eric Burley, Jeff Smith, Jeff Walker, Carlton Sanders, and Joe Burchett, your top 6. Dylan Bowes restarts in 8th. But if I'm not mistaken, he will get a EOL, which puts him at the back behind the lap cars. Yes, it will. These guys better kind of hope that Michael Travarthy don't get back on the lead lap. Just saying. He's 2 laps down at the moment. By the way, Lee Grandy back out on track in 10th place, so he did pick up a spot. That's big for him. I will update everybody on who the final 4 is once we finish the race. From all estimates right now, Jeff Smith definitely locked in, but we'll find out as he restarts 3rd. And Jeff Wupker's up there. We just mentioned Jeff. He likes this track, apparently, because back in the spring, he had a pretty good run here. So pace car pulls in. Green flag is out. We're back to racing here at Phoenix. Landon Lacey takes the lead. Eric Borelli trying to hold on a second. Going to go wide. That may open the door for the 61 of Jeff Schmidt. Now looking underneath the 78 for second. And Jeff not going to be able to get there just yet. As we go down into turn 3, Wupker on the outside of him. Jeff with that 09 starting to have a good run. He's up to 4th right now, looking for 3rd on Jeff Schmidt. Joe Burchett behind him, trying to pass the 18. And it looks like Joe picks up and moves into 5th. Now the 94 trying to pass the 09. Well, that 94 used the apron a little too much. That could have been bad. Woo, that was close. For 4th place, Joe Burchett underneath the 09. 09 is going to go around. Wupker puts it into the wall. Green flag stays out, and we stay green. Caution flag comes out. Lucky dog will go to Michael Travarthian. And honestly, he didn't have to stop. That's kind of surprising he did. But we will go back under caution once again. And I believe, let me double check, 09, that is his first caution, so he will just receive a EOL penalty. Let's take a look at our race summary so far. We've had 11 cautions for 36 laps. Laps completed, 119. 30 laps remaining once we hit the line. Lead changes 19, but Landon Lacey lead him 55 of the 120. I think everybody in here pretty much led a lap with the cautions and all that stuff. Pit road's going to be open, and these guys are coming down. And it looks like a couple guys staying out. Jeff Smith going to stay out. It looks like, of course, Travarthian definitely staying out. He's going to get your lucky dog. Jeff Wupker coming down. So one guy stays out, Jeff Smith. That might not be too bad. We only went 6 laps or 5 laps before we had the caution. We'll see how that plays out. I don't necessarily like the idea of staying out yet, but I think 4 fresh tires are still that important here, especially with 30 laps to go. Race off pit road. Landon Lacey, Eric Borelli, Joe Burchett, Dylan Bowes, Brandon Puffenberger, Carlton Sanders. So, at this moment, Eric Borelli would eliminate Dylan Bowes from playoffs, I do believe. I'm just saying, these guys don't need another caution, man, because Travarthian is only 1 lap down now, and he's about to get back on the lead lap, and he's another guy that's really fast now. He has been struggling a little bit, but I just wouldn't want him back on the lead lap. But he don't need another caution himself, honestly. If he gets involved in another caution, if he causes it, he's parked for the rest of the race. So, from what I'm understanding, and this was passed along to me, I got my little statistician over here let me know. With Lee Grandy, he is back in 10th. At the moment, Lee Grandy is out, which would be a huge upset because Lee's done multiple laps. Dylan could eliminate Lee, depending on where Dylan finishes. We'll have to wait and see where he's got to finish. But there's a lot of options from what I'm told. So if Lee does wreck, again, he's done. And he's spun out twice already without any help. So not saying that's not possible. So Lee Grandy's really on that bubble at the moment. I don't know if Lee's even led a lap yet, honestly. No, he has not. So that's a thing to really be thinking of. If you're Lee Grandy, man, you really need to baby the car. Like, you can't lose any more spots, period, because Austin Marion's like 9 laps behind you. Or, I'm sorry, 8 laps behind you. I mean, you have nothing to lose there. You really just need to baby the car and hope that Dylan falls back more. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if Dylan's going to fall back that much more. Because some of these other cars got a lot of damage, so we'll see, though, as the pace car will get ready to drop in. There it goes. We're going to stay high above the blimp. And the green flag, and wow, Eric really backed way off, and he did not go. I don't know if he was trying to jump to start, but he was off by 2 car lengths over first place. I don't know if maybe he thought something was going to happen. I don't know, but either way, he's trying to get a run on the inside of Joe Burchett for third. Landon Lacey is going to take the lead from Jeff Smith. Joe Burchett going to take over third, maybe? Yes, he will take over third. Now fighting for second on the 61. Remember, Jeff Smith stayed out on older tires as they work off turn 4. Burchett slides up quite a bit. Here comes the 61. But looks like Joe's going to be able to use the momentum from the higher line to get the run. And he will still not clear the 61. Now he clears Jeff. But Borelli working his way up. He's back and forth. Bo's right now sitting in 5th. As you see, Borelli right now putting a block on to 19. See, that's something we haven't seen a lot of Eric Borelli. I don't know if you guys have realized it, but the last couple of weeks, Borelli's been way more aggressive than normal. That's something a little odd. We haven't seen out of him all season, but for the last 3 races, we've seen a lot of stuff come from that 78 that we haven't expected, which is very odd. And he to me, he just don't seem as consistent as what he's been. And he probably don't like me saying that, but that's what I'm seeing. As Joe Burchett jumps in front of Landon Lacey, that is for the lead. So move to 94 up to first, move to 35, back to second. Here comes third place, Jeff Smith trying to hold back. Oh, what was that? Who was that? Colonel Sanders slow? Yep. Now, like I said, these guys don't need another caution. They really just need to try to finish this race out. Lee Grandy, on the other hand, might want Dylan to fall back a couple spots, and he may fall back here. He's under attack right now for Brandon Puffenberger, Indy 88. Here comes that 19 trying to get a run on the 78. Here comes the 88 sliding through the corner. He took a lot of ground up there. Oh, here comes the 19 with a big run on Eric Borelli. This is a big spot. Here comes Bose. Looking underneath Eric Borelli. Now see, Lee Grandy does not want that to happen. He does not want Bose to pass Borelli at all. These guys know what they're racing for. They know what's on the line. I expect them to race each other clean, especially these two. They have all season. But still, that's in the back of your mind. You see the 78 go a little wide there, and a caution comes out, and Carlton Sanders maybe? And that will put Michael Trevarthian back on the lead lap, I believe. 18 went around. So Michael Trevarthian goes back on the lead lap. And I'm going to be honest, it really seems like the 31's a little slow at the moment with the damage. But still, this is going to make things very interesting. That is a 3-lap penalty, by the way, to the 18, which will help Lee Granty. I want to mention that. That is huge for Lee because he's got a chance to make up a spot. Actually, now, just got word that the 09 is done, so Lee will make up at least 2 more spots. That's not what Dylan wants to hear. You see Lee staying out. Man, this chase stuff, I'm telling you. It's like math and excitement all into one. So here comes the 35 and the 94 and the 61 as well, as they are in their box. Race off pit road, going to be close. This is going to be a good race off pit road between these two, I think. Joe Burchett, Lando Lacey. Oh, that's a close one right there. It looks like, did Jeff get it? I'm showing Jeff Smith will come out in third. No, Eric Borelli jumps out. There's the race, and wow, that was close. 1/100,000th of a second race off pit road. Jeff Smith had a little bit slower stop than Eric Borelli, and that was enough to send Eric around Jeff. So Lee Grandy coming down pit road, going to take 4 fresh tires and lead now up to 9th place. And that is not what Dylan Bowes wants, as Dylan sits back in 5th. And I'm going to be honest, with 4 fresh tires on some of these cars, Dylan may be in a spot where he don't really want to be in. He's really got to race to 78 now. Both of these guys, the 78 and the 19, have to race each other kind of hard. I'm going to be honest, they're going to have to race hard. And not only that, what if we get a caution? Let's say here within 5 laps, do you come down pit road? Do you stay out? I think you got to stay out if you're these leaders. Even with 5 laps on the tires, I think you have to stay out. So we'll see. This race getting pretty exciting though, I'll say that. I know the cautions ain't what everybody wanted tonight, but I'm not gonna lie, the race hasn't been that bad. Honestly, it's been exciting to see, especially trying to figure out who's going to make the Final 4. So the 2 teammates from Overtake Motorsports starting up front, the 94 and the 35, but right behind them is where it gets interesting. You've got the Lazy Days driver, or soon to be Blown Gasket Racing driver, Eric Borelli, starting in 3rd. And the Metalhead Motorsports starting in the 61. Right beside him, Dylan Bowes, also the Metalhead Motorsports team, starting in 5th place. Brandon Puffenbarger, Lazy Days Racing, starting in the 88 and 5th. And then, of course, Michael Trevarthian and Carlton Sanders from Lazy Days. Carlton is, anyway. And 7th and 8th. Remember, Carlton Sanders 1 lap down, and has he done his time? He has not done his time. He's almost done. So the pace car is getting ready to drop. There it goes. If the race ended right now, just got word that 2 Lazy Days Racing drivers, 2 Metalhead Motorsports drivers will be in it. Here we go. Battle for the lead between the 2 teammates, as Dylan Bowes is going to drop way down below the line. And these guys are racing side by side behind the leaders. And they're racing hard right now for that spot. Dylan Bowes knows what's at stake. He does not need to give up another spot. I'll be honest, if he gives up another spot, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. He may still make it, I don't know. But Lee Grandy right now doing a good job on moving up. He's up to 8th now. Here comes the 31 of Trevarthian. Underneath Bowes. Just got word as well that the 65 really of Austin Marion is eliminated from what I'm seeing. Is that true? Wait, I thought he was already eliminated. Hold on. I'm getting this told to me as we go, guys. That's right, he was 8th place coming in. I forgot we eliminated 4 drivers. I don't know why I thought 2 drivers was eliminated. So don't count Eric Minch out either. But he's back in 14th, so I think we kind of got to. Up front is Lando Lacey, Joe Burchett. Then there's a second gap between the two. Back to Eric Morelli, Jeff Schmidt, Dylan Bowes, Michael Trevarthian. No, I'm sorry, Brandon Puffenberger and Michael Trevarthian. Here comes Bowes with a good run through turn number 1 and 2. He's trying to run down to 61. That is a huge spot in front of him. Jeff trying to run down the 78 car. That would be another big spot to take away. And that is not what Borelli needs, but that's what Dylan Bowes needs. And Jeff don't care. He's just here to win. Jeff's trying to help his teammate, that 19. Jeff gets around Eric Borelli, and he's looking to the inside. Jeff Schmidt helping a teammate out, passing to 78. And the 88's getting loose. And he saves it. And almost contact between the 29 and 88. Landon Lacey racing hard up front with teammate Joe Burchett. Landon yet to win an Xfinity race. Joe Burchett, a part-time driver in the Grand National Series. I'll take that back. Landon has actually won an Xfinity race. He's won 1. The 61 slow. Here comes the 78. Here comes the 19. Jeff Schmidt falling back. And Schmidt's going to leave it up to the guys to handle themselves as the 19 trying to get around Borelli. '61 gets loose. Saves it. Great save there by Jeff Schmidt. Up front for the lead. These two guys are teammates. And Joe Burchett's going to get loose. Has to save it. And he does save it and corrects it. Almost overdrove it. That would have been devastating for him. He's trying to stay out in front of Eric Borelli. There's the distance between these guys. As we are coming to 5 to go, which would mean if we hit that five lap mark and a caution was to come out, that will end the race. 78's going to go wide. Dylan Bowes on the yellow line. As we are now at 5 to go. Your top 4, Landon Lacey, Joe Burchett, Eric Borelli, Dylan Bowes, Jeff Schmidt. One of the biggest races and biggest finishes we're going to have to see all year right now for these guys. Who will advance to the Final 4 at Homestead? I can tell you one thing. I don't think these guys are going to race their way in or win their way in because Landon Lacey's gone. He has checked out on everybody. He is 3 seconds ahead right now. over every one of these guys. And that gap is extended. And Joe Burchett went around. Once again, the 94 loses it in turn 3 and went around. That gives Borelli the second. That is not what Lee Grandy needed. Two laps to go. Let's jump back to the battle that's really important right now. The 78, the 19, the 61 is there as well. The 88's there as well. Remember, Brandon Puffenberger trying to get into the next round as well, as he looks underneath Jeff Smith. And he may just let Jeff go. I think the 61 already knows he has nothing to lose. Remember, you do not want to cause a caution. He almost gets into the 88. He moves him out of the way. White flag in the air this time. I don't know which one to watch. We're going to watch this one, I think, for now. Landa Lacey coming through turn 3. Here comes the 19. Trying to get around the 78. Contact behind. Landa Lacey wins at Phoenix. Eric Borelli will get into Homestead. Dylan Vose looks like he's going to make the Homestead. Jeff Smith, Michael Trevarthian comes back and finishes 4th. Brandon Puffenberger, Jeff Smith, Joe Burchett. Woo! Good Lord, guys. And the winner tonight is going to be the 35 of Landa Lacey. A big win for him. I know he's been wanting that for a while, but Eric Borelli got to be more than ecstatic to get into Homestead. From what we're thinking, he will make it. Dylan Vose looks like he's going to make it. Brandon Puffenberger looks like he's going to make it. Jeff Smith looks like he's going to make it. Lee Grandy may be on the outs looking in just by a couple points. Landa Lacey going to burn it down at Phoenix. Big win for him. We're going to find out, guys, who made the chase. And we're also going to talk to the leader and the 4 guys that is in the chase. We're going to talk to all 4 of them going into Homestead. And once I get word of who it is, I will let you know. As Landa Lacey burns down the house, we're going to go ahead and bring him in. Landa Lacey, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Man, you've been struggling here week in and week out. You get wrecked. Almost won it last week. You come here, at least 73 laps, and I don't want to call it domination, but you put on a heck of a show and led, well, almost half the race. So, congratulations on a big win. I know you've been wanting it hard, man. Talk us through this one.
It wasn't easy. Up and down. Well, it wasn't really up and down. I went to the back once, just because I had to jump the restart. Well, actually, in my view, I did jump the restart. I went before the green lights came on, so I fell to the back because I don't feel like anybody saw it, but I'm a good sport like that. I'm just going to take my penalty and drop to the back, but work my way back up, and things just happened to work out in the end.
We've seen you and your overtake teammate Joe Burchett go at it for a long time, man. That was fun to watch, though. But you get a big win here on Veterans Day. And what was honestly the biggest challenge of this track, man? I mean, we've seen a lot of guys sliding around.
That was the biggest challenge, was grip. And it was hard to find it in the beginning. You had to get your throttle points correct, because if you went a little too early, you get sideways like you saw a bunch of people did off the corners. I mean, if you just got back to it, you were just going around for a spin.
Well, I don't want to say you swept the weekend, but you had a good chance because Friday you got taken out a little early. But you come last night, you win it. You come here and win today at Xfinity. Did you learn anything last night that could help you for tonight?
Well, I mean, I learned a little bit last night, especially through 3 and 4, about throttle control. I noticed that if I could just slowly roll into the throttle instead of get in on it hard, that I could save a little bit more tire and be able to turn a little better on corner exit. So that kind of helped me into tonight.
Man, congratulations. You know, I'm very proud of you. It would have been cool to see a 1-2 finish from Team Overtake because, of course, you know, I'm co-owner and I got to take credit. I taught you how to drive. But no, in all seriousness, though, man, I know you've been wanting to win here in Xfinity or Grand National for a long time, and you did it. So congratulations on that, man. Give shout-outs.
Yeah, shout out to, of course, Go Fast Racing. I thank them for, you know, letting me participate in this. Of course, my team Overtake Motorsports, and they always very supportive of everything I do. Yeah, okay. I doubt that. No, I want to thank Joe. You know, I kind of made a bad decision earlier in the race between me and him that somehow worked out. But I thank him because, I mean, he raced me clean every time he was around me. And that's, oh, and thank you out there to all the other fellow veterans out there for everything that you do for us.
That's for sure. Of course, everybody. Landon served in the Air Force, so Landon, thank you, of course.
Navy.
Navy. I don't know why I said Air Force. He's driving an Army paint, but I said Air Force.
So I couldn't find a Navy paint in Trading Paints, so that's why I'm running an Army.
But still, either way, it's a big thing. So I know that's a big win, man, to win on Veterans Day. So congratulations to you, and we'll talk to you here soon.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Next up, guys, I did get word, and we're going to bring them in one at a time and talk to them. I will tell you this, Lee Grandy did not make the chase, and Skylar Allen, another Eric Minch, Austin Marion. It's a tough break for Lee, man. We're going to bring in all the guys, though, from from Brandon Puffenberger, to Jeff Smith, to Eric Borelli, to Dylan Bose. We're going to bring in Eric Borelli first, who finished second tonight, and I know he's very happy about that. Hey, Eric, you got me?
What's up, stranger?
Man, I'm going to be honest. I counted you out. I'm not going to lie. I counted you out of the race. You disconnected. Talk us through that, man. You made the Final Four at Homestead.
Yeah, let me tell you, it was freaking crazy. I raced in, all of a sudden everything went blank, and I had a throughput, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, my motor shut down. I'm like, oh, this is like the worst possible freaking time. Right. And when we came back in, we were 4 laps down, and I was saying to Tim, I'm like, you know what, there is no way in hell we're gonna get back on the lead lap. And, you know, we stuck in it, thank God, because I was ready, honestly, to disconnect. I'm like, we're so far behind, it's not gonna work, you know. And, yeah, luckily, things kind of fell into place. We got back on the lead lap. I didn't even expect to end up in second, and lucky enough we did. Praise God for that.
You know, out of every race we've been to, you know, nobody likes cautions. Let's be honest. Nobody likes them. Nobody wants it to happen. Tonight, I think you might be a little bit appreciative of yellow flags because, for one, this was not an easy place for a lot of guys. But, man, what does it mean for you to get into the chase and your teammate? I mean, we got 2 LDRs versus 2 Metalhead Motorsports. What's that mean, though, going to Homestead? This has been a long season, and you're one of the favorites heading in.
Yeah, this is going to be epic. We may have to put this on pay-per-view. This might be better than WWE wrestling. Yeah, it's going to be good. You know, the MetaHUD guys run good all year. We've run good all year. You know, I know each of our teams have had a little bit of stumbles here and there. You know, we ran into crap. But, yeah, it should be a humdinger going to Homestead.
Let me ask you a question because I kind of talked about it a little bit, and maybe you can elaborate what I kind of mentioned. We've seen a different kind of Eric the last few weeks. You've seen a lot more aggressive than what we normally see, which is odd. Tonight it was a little bit different because we knew what was on the line tonight, but we see you a lot of being a lot more aggressive in the last few weeks in every series. Is there something to that? Is that something you're trying to do, or is it just bad luck and that's how it's happening?
You know, a couple of the weeks, I kind of, you know, I'll be the first one to admit, kind of a little over my head. You know, I got it a little too deep. You know, I bumped. You know, Skylar and I bumped, and I hit a couple other guys. You know, part of it's being aggressive, part of it, you know, but I think I got to that line a couple times where I went over and I pushed it too hard. You know, but for the most part of the season, we kind of just cruised around and just got top 5s and top 10s. But you know, at this point in the season, you can't do that anymore. You know, it's time to get rolling here and without crossing that line, you know.
All right, I know Skylar Allen also wants to ask a question, who sadly was eliminated, but Skylar, you got a question?
Yeah, man. First of all, Eric, congratulations on making the first Grand National round of 4 here. You've been pretty consistent all year, and knowing that at Homestead leading a lap doesn't matter, leading the most laps doesn't matter. There's no bonus points anywhere out there for you to gain. What's going to be your strategy going in to make sure you finish ahead of the other 3 guys?
Yeah, we're just gonna have to. We'll probably be practicing our ass off this week. Excuse my French. Going into next weekend, and yeah, we're gonna come out both guns blazing. You know, we're not gonna sit back. You know, it's one race and one winner takes them all, and we're just gonna go for it. You know, we're just gonna do what we have to do, and hopefully take home the cup.
Okay. Now, the second question I have is, knowing that you have a teammate in the Final Four with you, do you race him a little different? Do you race him more aggressively than maybe you would any other race of the year, trying to get ahead of him?
You know, strategy plays a big part in it. You know, obviously it's going to be, you know, 2 versus 2, I guess, if you want to call it such. You know, I can't see me going over my head personally, killing anybody just for me to win. If Brandon has a chance and he's able to take it home for LDR, then, you know what, more power to him. We're not going to push the envelope. I don't want to jam anybody up just to, you know, win a championship.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on making the round of 4, and I think Adam's got another one for you.
He talks about pay-per-view at WWE. Well, we got a tag team match heading into next week. So.
That's what I was going to say.
So I thought that was pretty funny, the way that worked out. But, man, Eric, seriously, a good season. And like I said at the start of the chase, you was one of the favorites, but you kind of fell off there a little bit, off everybody's radar. So a good run tonight, man, and now you're on everybody's radar because there's only 4 of you guys left. So anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, definitely got to give a shout out to Tim. I know we've talked about this so many times during the season. You know, spotters are nice. I mean, you know, the iRacing spotters are nice, but without a real spotter, I would not be anywhere here. There was a couple of weeks where Tim wasn't around, and you know, it kind of threw me for the loop. So I was so accustomed to having him. So shout out to him. Shout out to Brandon and the rest of the guys on Lazy Days Racing. You know, they did good all season long, and it's nice to be in the top 2, actually the Final 4, I should say. Shout out to Skylar and the rest of the admins. I know it's been a little bit of an up and down season. You guys have done a great job, and there's good caliber drivers here. And of course, Adam, a shout out to you, man. You said week in, week out, you're here putting on a good broadcast. You know, me and my 2-year-old chill out and watch it afterwards, and it's good stuff. So thank you guys very much.
Go win a championship.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man. All right, next up, we will bring in 3rd place, Dylan Vose. We'll bring him in now. Who finished 3rd? Dylan, you got me?
10-4, Adam.
Well, first off, it wasn't easy for you tonight. Let's just be honest.
Kidding.
You actually came in here on the outside looking in. You was 1 point from the cut line, which Eric Borelli finishes in front of you. So, you know, Lee didn't have the greatest night, and it worked out for you good. You was fast all night though. You started 8th, but you seemed like you had a really good short run car tonight. So talk us through it, man. What was you feeling in the car tonight?
Honestly, I was just trying to mind my P's and Q's all night, and I'll tell you what. When I spun to bring out that caution with 50 to go or whatever it was,
I think so,
to get my 0H to go from 0 to 2H, I had a small heart attack. Because I knew if I kept that 0X, I would have an extra 5-point buffer, and I knew that with a decent finish, like a 5th place finish, and Lee having an okay night, I'd be fine. So that 2X. Oh, go ahead.
Let me ask you this: what was it like, man? Because in this round, it hasn't really worked out to the greatest that you know that you could do. Tonight, you kind of put that aside, and you had a good finish overall, and you had a good run. What was it like, man? 3 races you had to be pretty good, and tonight you was right there on the cut line. What was the pressure, or was there any on you coming in?
There was a ton of pressure put on by myself mostly, but honestly, the Texas race kind of jolted me into action. How I kind of wrecked out because of my shifter or whatever, what have you. So it jolted me into action, and to say, okay. Because honestly, I had thought, I had gone through all the scenarios in my head, and I thought, okay, if I lose, this is how I'm going to react. So I had already come down from the lows of Texas and just trying to build myself back up to where that I could run halfway decent, which thank God I did, and thank God you guys had issues. But
Skylar, you have a question as well?
Yeah. Sorry, I had the wrong screen up on my computer. Here we go. All right, Dylan. So coming in, going into Homestead, you've got 9 top 5s, 12 finishes in the top 10, and you're also the winningest driver of the year. So having 3 wins, do you feel that gives you any advantage at Homestead?
I would say it gives me a little bit, but Homestead is so unique that all those wins almost mean nothing. And especially for myself, being that 2 out of the 3 wins came on a road course, I'd say I'm fighting uphill at this point.
Okay.
Not necessarily going in with a ton of confidence, but I don't know, a ton of practice should solve that on Wednesday or Saturday or whenever we race. So.
Okay. The same question that I kicked to Barilli just a few moments ago. You're entering into the Final Four at Homestead. Congratulations on that.
Thank you
very much. It's the first
sir.
Grand National Series Championship Final Four, and you've secured a spot in that. But you've also secured that spot with a teammate in Jeff Schmidt. Now, going in there, do you maybe race him any differently than you have all year, knowing that, you know, if he finishes ahead of you and he's the first car ahead of you, if he's the highest finishing of the Final Four, he's going to win the championship. Do you race him any differently?
No, honestly, in terms of everybody, I try and race everybody the same and show everybody as much respect as I can. Yeah, there's going to be knocks and bumps there, but I try and have as little contact as possible. But that being said, though, if it's 1 or 5 laps to go and we're coming to the green or the checkered flag and it's just me and him first and second, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be racing my heart out and doing everything that I can to get past him or to loosen him up. So we're teammates to a point at that race.
He says we're teammates until 5 to go. Just so you're aware, it is 2 Metalhead Motorsports drivers and 2 Lazy D's Racing drivers in the Final Four at Homestead. So we previously with Eric Burley, we were referencing WWE in a tag team championship match. So it was, kind of, it's really neat. And for me as an admin, frustrated as a driver, but as an admin, I'm really excited to get to Homestead. Really excited to start crowning our first champions here in the NASCAR series that we have. So congratulations again, man.
Thank you very much, and thank you for putting on the lead, and thank you, Adam, for making an awesome broadcast that I can't wait to rewatch.
Man, you got a chance to go out there and do something special, so go out there next week and see if you can cap it off. Nobody's counting you out, that's for sure, because I'll be honest, I counted a lot of you guys out tonight, so, so good job. And
well, I was going to say, the curse didn't help much, did it?
Yeah, no, not at all. So if there's any more shout-outs or anything you want to give, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to thank HomeNet Hosting, PC, and Repair, Metalhead Motorsports, consisting of Jeff Schmidt, myself, Austin Marion, and Eric Minch, and Skylar Allen for putting on the lead and dealing with all of us drivers and our egos. And I'd like to thank you, Adam, for making the broadcast and doing a consistently awesome job. Good job.
That was fun tonight, so go out there and see if you can win a championship next week. I know it's going to be exciting to watch.
Cool. Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring in Brandon Puffenberger. He's been up in LDR for long enough. We could go ahead and bring him in.
Hub Nut Hub.
Hey, Brandon, you got me. Anyway, I don't know what that was, but anyway, let me ask you. You was pretty much consistent tonight. We kind of had an idea that you would be locked in. You finished 5th and started 13th, but you're going to make the Final Four at Homestead, and I don't think anybody can count you out when it comes to Homestead next week. I mean, you come in here, you got 1 win on the season, 2 poles, and 4 top 5s. How do you feel now that you are locked in going to Homestead? Does that take pressure off? Does it build more pressure now that you know that you got a chance for a championship?
I mean, it takes some pressure off, but I'm more of a pressure guy. Like, I perform better under pressure, so I try to put as much pressure on me as possible.
I think that's a good thing. Some people handle it way different. I think that's definitely a good thing. So Homestead next week. We don't race Homestead a lot, and once a year here on iRacing anyway. How do you feel about that track? I mean, that's a difficult track, especially in the Xfinity or Grand National car. How do you feel about that headed there next week?
I feel pretty good. I'm pretty good at Homestead, so it should be fun.
Skylar, you had a couple questions as well. If you still have them up, you can go ahead and ask.
Yep. My question for Brandon is, I don't. You've got 5 top 5s, 14 top 10s.
A lot of top 10s.
So you've been pretty consistent all year. It's only a couple drivers who've been maybe more consistent. How do you ensure that you're the highest finishing champion of the championship for at Homestead?
To put it blunt, just go for broke, pretty much.
Okay. And I've asked this of each of the other chase drivers, the final 4. You're going in there with a teammate in Eric Barilli, and there's no bonus points, so staying out and leading the lap doesn't matter. Leading the most laps doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is either winning or being the highest finishing of the 4 drivers. Does that make you race your teammate a little differently than maybe you would have the rest of the year?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, not really.
Thank you. The yeah kinda works for me because I can't see any of our 4 drivers just being like, yep, I'm going to cruise here in second and let the guy in front of me win because he's my teammate. I don't see that happening out of any of the 4. And so I feel like we've gotten the most honest answer out of Brandon now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. So let me ask you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to, Brandon, congratulations on making the final 4. And I'll see you next week at Homestead.
Yep, thank you.
Real fast before I let you go, let me ask you another question. I know Skylar kind of just based it off what Skylar said. Does that make you a little bit more relaxed knowing that you do have a teammate that you can possibly lean back on to try to get some information from him? Or do you still go in there and attack the place the way that you know how to do it?
I mean, throughout the season, I haven't really relied on any of the teammates, basically. I usually just try to attack the track how I know how to attack it. That works best for me. And then just try to give them a little information on how I'm doing it if they're like not doing as well.
I'm going to be honest with you. From what I'm hearing right now, I love the answers that you're giving. And Skylar, I don't know how you feel about it, but a lot of these guys really better watch out for Brandon personally. From what I'm hearing, he seems like he really wants to go out there and be aggressive and try to win this race. And I think that's dangerous when we haven't heard many guys say that. We heard a lot of guys say nothing against the other guys that said, you know, I'm going to go out there and whatever happens, happens and stuff like that. Brandon wants to win.
Absolutely.
So, Brandon, I respect that. I respect that a lot. So, anybody you want to give a shout out to or anything like that?
Just Skylar, Nate, putting on the series all year long. You with the amazing broadcast to keep getting better and better. My teammates, and good luck to the Metalhead drivers in the Final 4.
Good job, buddy, and we'll see you next weekend.
Yep.
Thanks, bud.
Take care, Brandon.
Next up, bring in Jeff Smith, who, honestly, we had an idea he was going to be locked in. Let's just be real. Jeff, you got me?
Yeah, hey Adam, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Probably not as good as you. You were in a Homestead to fight for a championship, and I'm just going to be straight up honest and ask you, what's it going to take for you to get it done?
Yeah, next race is going to be a lot different. We're not points racing no more. It's going to be pedal to the metal, and no letting guys go, no giving room like we did all year long. Going to be different.
I love that answer, man.
I like that answer.
I love that answer. We was just talking a minute ago, and we got a tag team match next week between 2 LDR guys and 2 Metalhead Motorsports guys. Is there any information sharing that's going to be going on between you and your teammate? What am I thinking of? Who am I looking at?
Dylan Bose.
Dylan Bose. I don't know why I was looking at Brandon. Is there going to be any information sharing between you and Dylan going into Homestead? I mean, will y'all bounce information off each other to try to help each other get faster, or are you going to try to keep everything to yourself?
No, we as a team, we're friends. We're all friends with each other. It's going to be a race against everyone, whether it be a teammate or not. I mean, you're not gonna let your teammate go. You're not going to give them a position. You're going to fight them just as hard as anyone else. But with that being said, we're still going to do our team practices like we do. That's going to include the whole team, and we're going to all share the information just like we do normally. The only difference is going to be what we do on track.
Right.
So that was kind of my question. First question was, knowing that Dylan is going in there with you and that points are out the window, no bonus points, no nothing, highest of the four, highest finisher of the final four will win the championship. Do you race Dylan on track any differently than you have all year? Do you, if you're chasing him and you're behind him and he's the first car of the final four drivers, do you race him any different?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to race him 10 times harder than we normally do. We give our teammates a ton of room. We try to give everyone a ton of room out there. But the last thing you ever want to do is get into a teammate. So we might give them a little extra room and be a little more lenient from race to race, but that's not going to be the case this time. I know I heard Dylan say, 5 to go, there's no more teammates. I agree. I agree with everything he said. We're not going to be pushing the issue to the point early on that we're wrecking each other. I mean, that would just be silly. We both want to be there to have a shot. And if it does come down to me and him, then yeah, it's going to be a full-on race.
Awesome. And then my other question for you is, what's going to be your strategy to try to be the top finisher of the Final Four there at Homestead?
Track position. Staying ahead of those guys the whole time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, and you would think I'd pick me since I made the chase when I made my bracket earlier in the year, but I didn't. If I'm looking at stats, and you can ask Adam, it's what I do when I'm not in the car.
He does a lot of stats. He does a lot of it.
Does this statistic scare you at all, Jeff? Eric Barilli has 17 top 5 finishes and 21 top 10 finishes, whereas everybody else has 5 top 5 finishes and 14 or 15 top 10 finishes. Does that stat scare you at all going into Homestead?
Nope.
Okay. Well then,
it's a different race. We're not going to think about that stuff.
But you have to think about it, don't you? I mean, you almost have to put that in your mind and think, okay, well, this guy has been consistently, aside from Dylan having won one more race than Eric, you almost have to consider this guy. He has 26 starts, and 17 of those he's finished in the top 5. That's 9 races that he didn't. I don't know how you can go into Homestead not thinking about that.
That's definitely impressive. I'm not here to bash anyone. That's not what I mean. That's very impressive. That's a lot of top 5s, and that's what you got to do here. But if he finishes 5th, I got to finish 4th. So honestly, I'm not going to think about that. I'm just going to try to get ahead of him.
I was going to kind of go off that and say it kind of sounds like that you don't want that stuff to get in your head. And I think that's, I think it's a good way to go in about it. You don't want that stuff to try to bother you. Some guys it may bother, and I think it's a good thing if it don't. But it's definitely going to be a fun race, man. And congratulations, big, making a Homestead. So.
Yep, congratulations on making it, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Can I just say a few things here? Give my shout-outs. Definitely the Metalhead Motorsports, Austin Marion, Eric Mensch, Dylan Vos, myself, HomeNet Hosting, and PC Repair. To all the veterans, this day is for them. This isn't about racing. This is about nothing but their day today. So hope our car looked out there. We wanted to show our support, and we really appreciate everything that those guys do and the sacrifices that they made so that we could live free and have everything that we have.
That's true.
And I definitely want to give a shout out to Eric Minch, who was he is a veteran of the Marine Corps, and we're very proud to have him on the team and everything that he has done.
All right, man. One race to go. Go out there and see if you can get them next week.
Thanks, Adam. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. So, Skyler, aside from you being eliminated, I kind of want to go off something else, and I kind of want to mention this before I get your pick on who you think is going to win the championship. Out of all the leagues I've ever broadcasted, I think this chase is by far the most closest chase we've ever had in the history of our broadcast. Because these guys are so close in talent, we don't know who's going to win. Let's just be honest. It's going to be close.
My bracket, well, unfortunately, my bracket had me in the Final Four, but I missed the Final Four. And my bracket, I missed the Final Four quite a bit on my bracket as far as, not just myself, but I also had Eric Mensch. I had Lee Grandy, and I had Eric Barilli. And I've got Eric Barilli. I can't, you can't bet against numbers like that. That's just impressive numbers. You can't bet against 17 top 5s and 21 or 22 top 10s for a guy that started 26 races. So I welcome somebody to prove me wrong, but
let me ask you this.
I stick with my pick.
Let me ask you. I think Eric's a great pick. I can't remember if I picked him for this or the trucks this earlier this year, but let me ask you this. Knowing that he's been a little bit different of a driver the last few weeks, but we've seen a different Eric. We've seen the real Eric come out tonight. Because without the never give up attitude, I mean, he could have gave up when he disconnected. Let's be honest. Do you think that the last few weeks will come back to haunt him the way he's been racing, or will we see the one we've seen tonight?
I don't think it'll come back to haunt him because I don't think anybody's going to be vindictive, maybe. They're not going to be out for revenge. They're not going to be revengeful. I think that that never give up attitude, and I feel like he's definitely been a little bit more aggressive on track, and I think that only suits to help him as we enter Homestead.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. The race was exciting. I know we had a little bit more cautious to what everybody wanted, but I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think it was that bad of a race personally. I thought it was some of the funnest racing we've seen in a while because how much drama was actually involved. I mean, every spot when a chase driver spun out or something like that, it was intense. But we know Phoenix is a tough place, man. I mean,
it's tough, yeah.
People that don't know, don't let this race deflect on the league because the last 10 races for this league have been flawless. Let's just be honest.
So Phoenix is tough, and then it's just the really hot, slick temperatures made the hot temperatures made the track really slick tonight, and and we knew after the truck race that things were going to be a little rough, and we tried to institute some stuff to try and help it a little bit, and I think it did help overall. And at the same time, it probably hurt a couple of guys tonight. So. Well, I mean, now running out of talent hurt me, but I think Lee. I did have a good car, but I think the most affected by tonight was Lee. He came in. Third.
Yeah.
And
one of the favorites. I'm gonna be honest.
I gotta go back to Texas though. I don't know how well publicized it was through the broadcast and how much the viewers know, but post race at Texas, Lee lost 10 points for a.
That's right. I forgot to.
He had a pit stop violation exiting the pits, and that cost him 10 championship points. Retrospectively, those 10 championship points, he would still be in. And Dylan Bose would be out.
He would still be what, third?
So he would be sitting third, with 10 points. So, I mean, at this point, where you start the chase is irrelevant. It's all about where you finish at Homestead. But those 10 points, those 10 points put him in versus being out. So, unfortunately, he kind of knows where those. I hate to, kind of rub that in, but that gives him something to look back on and go, dang it. That's what cost it to me right there.
All right, man. Good catching up. Let's go wrap up the season. We got 3 races for Go Fast next week. So
absolutely, man.
So good talking to you, and we'll do it again.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I think we covered everything good here from Phoenix for the Veterans Day 150. Once again, I want to thank all the veterans out there. Without that, we wouldn't have internet. Well, you never know. We may have internet, but we wouldn't have. We wouldn't be able to do this. Well, freedom is a very term used really relaxed most of the time, but I don't think a lot of people understand how important that word can be. So, without them, we wouldn't be here, or wouldn't be where we are. So, thanks everybody for tuning in week and week out. I appreciate it. We're going to wrap this thing up next week. So, have a great night. God bless, and congratulations to the Final Four. Eric Borelli, Dylan Bose, Brandon Puffenberger, Jeff Smith. We'll see y'all next week, next Thursday. We'll also be live here next Tuesday or Wednesday as well. See y'all then. Flag is in the air here at New Hampshire. New Hampshire, once this race continues, things can change in an instant at day 7. Thomas Showers Jr. did get his lap back. There he goes, celebrating tonight at day